Joining me right now is the chairman and CEO of the Renault, Nissan, Mitsubishi Alliance, Carlos Ghosn. Carlos, it's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Great to see you here in Davos. So what are your thoughts on this? You and I have had conversations about trade in the past in terms of international automakers selling their goods in the U.S. What do you think when you see these tariffs?
Look, I think it's not something major, in my opinion. It's more symbolic than anything else, because we're talking about relatively minor items. We're not talking about major tariffs. I think 2018 is not going to see any significant burst in protectionism because the economy is doing well. All of the countries are doing well, so everybody has interest into cooperating. Obviously, corrections need to happen, and there will be some corrections, but I'm not expecting anything major.
But what about the response? I mean, are you expecting a response from China?
I don't think so.
No.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. And obviously, I know we are talking also about NAFTA, for example.
Right.
Obviously, something which is very important for all car makers. We are waiting to see exactly what's going to be the outcome of the negotiation. But the fact that after 23, 24 years of an established agreement, we want to take another look because the situation is different, of the three economies is different, is totally normal. Now, the outcome is going to be very important for us, but we will not act before seeing the outcome.
But this discussion on NAFTA is beginning. I mean, I'm talking this week, next week. Yeah. So this will come to a head in 2018. As a leading CEO, I mean, your companies are going to be they are the largest automaker in the world right now.
Yes.
We reached in 17. What do you want to see? You're a statesman in the business now. What do you want to see from these NAFTA discussions?
What we want to see is visibility and something that's going to really show us the path for the next 10 to 20 years. You know, the worst thing is if you are in a situation where you know that you may change, but you don't know exactly what's going to happen, because this is stifle investments. Now, the fact that you're going to review this agreement, fine. Let's set once for all the rules that are going to allow us to plan, invest, organize ourselves for the years to come.
So for you, it's more about getting certainty.
Exactly.
It doesn't necessarily mean, I mean, it could be more expensive for you, though, right?
Yeah, it can be more expensive for us and for all the other car makers because we are all in the same situation. I don't think it's going to get more or less competitive for some car manufacturers. I don't think anybody's going to get an advantage from this. But we need to know what are the rules so we can organize ourselves.
Give me the state of the business right now. You putting together this incredible alliance. Congratulations. I mean, you know, you've got Nissan's cross-ownership with Renault representing this international alliance success story. This is the success story that we've seen in the auto. There's not another success story to speak of. Renault owns 43.4% of Nissan. Nissan owns 15% of Renault. The Renault-Nissan alliance jointly owns 73% of the Russian automaker. And then Nissan holds a controlling 34% in Mitsubishi Motors. What does this do for you?
Well, this gives us scale. In a certain way, the alliance leaves the autonomy of all the companies, Mitsubishi by itself, Nissan by itself, Renault by itself, but at the same time, we work together where it matters, which means on technology, on platforms. We buy together, but we leave all the company free to develop the cars they want and manage their own brand. It gives us a little bit the scale of one large company and at the same time the agility of a lot of companies.
So what are you seeing today in terms of business?
I'm seeing a great market in 2018. I'm seeing a great market. I'm seeing practically all the markets going up. With the exception maybe of the UK, depending on what's going to happen in Brexit. But obviously, the United States, particularly with the latest decision on the fiscal decisions, are going to be positive, tailwind. Japan is going to do better. Europe is going to do better. Russia is coming back. Brazil is going to back. China and India are going to continue on their trend, positive trend. So I'm expecting another record for the industry in 2018.
Look, I've got to get your take on what changes this, what turns this around. But first, take us behind the curtain in terms of the auto business right now. Yeah. You were at CES, which is interesting to see a leading automaker at a computer technology show, consumer technology, but it's not so different today because everything in your car's technology. Yeah. You were at the CES, and then you were at the Detroit Auto Show.
Yes.
Tell us.
No, but mainly, you know, all the attention today is particularly on technology. It's how the technology, particularly based on artificial intelligence and the connectivity of the cars, is going to change the car. In the next 5 years, you're going to see a lot of evolution at the level of the car. More electric cars, more connected cars, more autonomous cars, ending up with robotaxi, which means the driverless cars. Everything's going to happen. This is not a kind of 10, 15 years down the road. This is going to happen in the next 5 to 6 years. So people paying a lot of attention from what's coming from CES, because what's coming from CES are going to be the bricks that are going to determine how the car is going to change.
So the BRICS meaning the emerging markets?
No, the BRICS in the sense of the small modules that are going to be, you're going to be putting in the car. Exactly. They're going to change the car.
Okay. Because BRICS are going to be two things. That's why Nissan is laying the groundwork for self-driving cars.
Yeah.
Last time we spoke about autonomous vehicles.
Yeah.
Do you think people are going to be buying self-driving? I saw you driving the.
Yeah.
Well, you weren't driving; you were sitting there.
Exactly. Yeah. But you're going to have different degrees. You know, you're going to be buying more autonomous cars because you're going to be empowered. You're going to say, okay, I want to drive the car when I decide. I want a car to drive me whenever I don't want to drive. These are the autonomous cars. Then it's going to end up with robotaxi, which is the driverless cars, which are of the interest of the company like the Uber and the Amazon and the Alibaba because they have a lot of commercial stakes behind lowering the cost of mobility. So all these technologies are lining up. You're going to have a mix of these technology on the market. And I don't think the market is going to go one way, but it's going to diversify the offer.
Do you worry, though, that with all of these fleets being acquired, you know, because of Uber and they're buying fleets, that there will be fewer cars on the road?
I don't think so.
No?
I mean, I know that there is a lot of theory that the car is going to diminish. I don't think so. In fact, we're not seeing it today, even though we're being told that young people in cities are not buying cars, which is true. But you have to look at the whole market at the same time that you have a kind of stability of the car market in the United States or in Europe, in the big urban concentration. You have booming car sales still going on in the emerging market.
Real quick, before you go, Carlos, what do you worry about? We're in sort of a perfect situation right now. Synchronized global growth, 4% growth expected in the U.S. and across the world, actually.
Yeah.
What changes this?
Well, what may change this if all of a sudden an unexpected conflict somewhere that could scare the market, or when I say conflict, that it can be a war somewhere, or it can be conflict inside a country.
Like a trade situation.
It can be a trade situation. It can be all of a sudden a budget situation gets out of control. These kind of things, I don't think they're going to happen. But we have to be careful.
These are unforeseen. And, of course, the sell-offs happen when you're not expecting it. Carlos, it's always a pleasure to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Carlos Ghosn joining us there.